Hello everyone. I hope you guys enjoy yesterday's video or the first part of the video. I don't know if you guys liked it or not, or seen it or not. Definitely go watch it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the last part. If you have not watched the last part, definitely go watch it. Now, again, since even though it's just a series of fairies, magic, king and queens and stuff, this does deal with serious topics. Some topics I'm gonna include and might include in the future. These are some topics I'm definitely gonna include. I'm definitely gonna be including some more topics in the future. But for now, there is gonna be low self-esteem issues, abuse, recovering from abuse, questioning a relationship status labels, labels, nutrition disorder, racism, and in this episode, genetics. Well, there's only be a bit of talk about genetics in this video, but you know what I mean. Oh, and the royal politics. So, yeah. I wouldn't recommend this video for any younger viewers, any viewers at all. Now, without further ado, let's start this video. Enjoy the podcast. 2 weeks have passed since Faith had took the DNA test. She and John decided to spend a lovely Friday lunch at Fairy Bucks. Faith couldn't help but keep scrolling through her emails. As she kept on refreshing on her phone. As she quickly sipped her caramel mocha frappuccino. Now, John, on the other hand, couldn't help but feel annoyed. After all, he and Faith had made a tradition that every Friday that they would go out and hang out. And while it was Friday, and he hadn't spoken with Faith, had a proper conversation with Faith all day long, as she was very nervously refreshing her phone's email. John quickly took a quick sip of his coffee, and looked out the window. He was wondering what's such a big deal about this whole DNA testing. However, another part of him knows that if Faith were to somehow somehow marvelous chance of being the long-lost twins, the old king and queen, then their life is about to change forever. Luckily, though, Faith agreed that he was allowed to join her, as long as the royal staff managed to let him. He grumbled under her breath. He quickly kept watching Faith scrolling and refreshing and re-scrolling through her emails. As he took a quick sigh, he decided to serve the cafe. The world was nothing much else to do since Faith was just doing nothing but scrolling through her phone. He had around doing some people watching. When he overheard the table right behind him, whispering about something. Have you heard? Yeah, I heard Cindy Stonewater took the DNA test to see if she's royalty. I would love to have her as my queen. I mean, everyone knows my queen's my great royalty. Yeah, but I hope she's the eldest and not some dark fairy. Everyone knows dark fairies are the worst type of fairies out there. They work with witches, for crying out loud. Yeah, I personally don't see what our beloved Queen Stephanie fell in love with David, that old terrible dark king. I know, right? Excuse me, I'm gonna use the restroom. Alright. Man, I hope our future queen of the dark and light fairies don't end up having to be a dark queen. I know. There's already so much enough to stress about, considering the fact how we had those dumb, terrible witches, which probably got started because of the dark fairies. I know. Well, anyways, yeah, you go do your business. Business and all. Thank you. As one of the fairies went up to the restroom, John couldn't help but feel very angry. Today has been quite a terrible day for him. For starters, Faith hadn't talked to him all day, and those two terrible fairies were making fun of Faith's race, fairy type. Now, even though no one could tell that Faith was a dark fairy, unless of course she let out her wings or did some dark-only fairy spell, but still, it quite hurt. To be honest, John was quite surprised that Faith didn't react to something. And again, she probably had done all sorts of these sort of bad, hurtful words before, as he quickly recalled 7th grade. John couldn't help but flash back to the time he and Faith met. It was back in 7th grade, the second quarter. Faith was just a new student. She quickly introduced herself to the class. All right, Faith, just introduce yourself and, I'll give you your schedule. Faith was quite a nervous wreckball, you could say. Quite the shy bug. Took her a few minutes to explain herself, but she was finally able to gain the confidence. Hi, my name is Faith Chalkwood. What type of last name is that? Yelled Mike. Mike was back then the meanest, biggest, most terrible bully ever. And not to mention, considering he was a light fairy, which is supposed to represent goodness and joyfulness and this and stuff. I don't know why my last name's Chalkwood. I saw you came inside. I saw you being dropped off by your dad. You look nothing like your father. Did your mom die? Young Faith couldn't help but stand there all alone and scared. She was being humiliated by the whole class. That's when John came. That's when young John stood on his chair and yelled out to the whole room, "Hey, it's not her fault that her last name is Chalkwood. And who knows, maybe her mom is alive. Not all of us look like our parents," said young John, as he quickly sat back down. "Mr. John, do not speak out line. But I was only defending her, Miss Birdwill," said young John. "Well, it doesn't matter, John. You know better not to speak out. And I have to admit, but the other students are right. Chalkwood is quite a weird name. And I definitely have seen her father outside. She does look nothing at all like her. Now, John could not believe it. Neither could Faith. And again, she was sorry dealt with all sorts of bullies in the past. Young John could not help it, thinking how terrible the teacher was. And to think, she was his favorite teacher all to now. Teacher to now. John couldn't help but think about how terrible it was. He quickly reminding himself to stay on point and stay in the present. Of course. Higley sighed, and took a bite of his bagel, waiting patiently for Faith to finally get off her phone. He tried talking with Faith earlier ago to stop looking at that screen and stop refreshing her emails, even though there was a chance or not, she wasn't going to make it. Faith, on the other hand, knew she was being very rude, but another part of her knew that she had to know the answer. She had instantly regretted the fact how she took that DNA test and was waiting so dearly just to be told that she's not the long-lost princess, and which can make her go home and cry all night and regret of her taking the DNA test and being all hopeful and falling forget, and she probably would be very dumb thinking all of these weird thoughts at the moment. She sighed. "Okay, that's it," said John as he quickly grabbed Faith's phone and put it on his side. "Hey, well, why did you do that for?" Listen, Faith, you and I made an agreement ever since the day of school back in 7th grade, ever since your first day of school back in 7th grade, that we will hang out together every Friday. Every single Friday. Even if you were sick, even I was sick. Even if we couldn't, even if we're miles apart. And no offense, Faith, but why in the world are you so caring about a DNA test? That's to see whether I'm going to the long-lost princess. Heck, and studies have shown that 98% of people in this whole world are not having the chance of being the long-lost princesses. However, as he said that, a limousine popped out, drove up from the cafe. And that was no other than the famous Cindy Stonewater. Everybody screamed. Everybody got up from their tables and went up to the door and went, Cindy Stonewater! Cindy Stonewater! Everybody was crying her name. Wait, the only people that didn't went up to the door were the staff members and Faith and John. Wow. People really like her, said Faith. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of her music, but I'm not that crazy, which I would not like any type of music in the world. I mean, I like other musicians, and it's not like I want to marry her or anything. God, I mean, I know people like her, but I didn't think people would like her that much. Maybe we should go? Definitely. Let's go. Faith and John quickly managed to somehow escape from the crowd and quickly headed home. When John and Faith quickly made it to their apartment, they went into their living room and quickly lay on the couch, thinking of how they managed to survive the crazy Cindy Stonewater fans. I can't believe it. What was she even doing here? I thought she doesn't go to public cafe. Doesn't go to this place. Maybe she's here for a commercial. If that was true, then wouldn't they have planned in advance where she doesn't have to deal with all her crazy fans? I don't know. I'm just exhausted. Me too. Oh man, could I use a break? You know, I hope nothing more dramatic happens. Oh, Faith, don't say that. No, now you're 100% going to determine something dramatic's gonna happen. Oh please, do you really believe in that movie stuff? Hey, you're gonna jinx it. Now something crazy dramatic's gonna happen. I just said dramatic, said Faith. And with short, there was a knock at the door. Hello, Your Highness. Please open the door. Your Highness? Who in the world would call me Her Highness? Wait, hold on. The DNA test. Both John and Faith got up from the couch, and ran up straight to the door. When they got the door, Faith quickly unlocked her apartment door. Hello? Why, hello there, Your Highness. It was old man in a tuxedo greeting her at the door. Hello? My name is Cheshire. Alright, hi Cheshire. Why are you here at my apartment door? Why, it's quite simple, Your Highness. We did the DNA test, and the results have shown that you, my dear, are the long-lost princess. Wait, what? Said John and Faith. Why, yes, it's clear as day. Your DNA matches our deal king and queen. And we also didn't figure out who your twin is. Twin is as well. Who's my twin? Says Faith. Oh, simple. Well, you might already know about her. You might be all crazy Google when I tell you about this. But your twin happens to be Cindy Stonewater. Faith couldn't believe it. Her face froze. She stand there like a frozen popsicle. John, on the other hand, couldn't believe it. Faith was related to Cindy Stonewater, the most famous light fairy in the entire world. Heck, no, she's the most famous fairy type in the entire world. Heck, no. The most famous fairy in the entire galaxy. There must be some mistake. There's no way I can be a princess. Oh, no, Miss Faith, you are not a princess. Phew, you're a queen. Wait, what? How am I a queen? Oh, I'll explain in the car ride along with your sister. Can I bring my friend John? Oh, yes, you could bring your husband. Husband? Oh, no, we are not dating. Yeah, we are not dating. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that, I just assume that. No, yeah, we are. No, we're just friends. Yeah, we're just friends. All right, well, you and your friend, you might want to pack a few things, but make it quick. We must head off to the old palace right away. Wait, you're not talking about the king, talking about the palace of the old king and queen, the palace in which all the citizens demanded that they build for their favorite couple? That castle? Yes, you both will be staying there permanently. After all, you, Faith, are royalty, and you, sir, I don't know what your name is, will be accounting her since she did invite you to stay. Oh, all right. Oh my. Cindy, waiting in the car, still can't believe it's shocking the news. She can't believe it. She was royalty. Out of the 98% chance of her being royalty, she managed to make 100% of it. And she couldn't wait to meet her twin sister, or whoever she was. Still, she nervously couldn't wait. However, she knew she had to keep her nerves in check. After all, Stephen was in the car of her, and she did not want to upset Stephen. However, her good friend Watson was also in the car. I still can't believe it, Your Highness. Your Highness. Oh, I guess that little nickname I gave you is true. You are royalty, said Watson. I know. It's still quite a shock, but wow, I can't believe it. I'm royalty. Oh, this is quite exciting news. Yes. And with this, I get you some money. You. Lots of money, my dear Cindy. Yes. How are you? With this new image of yours, you need to lose even more weight. Okay? But Stephen, no talking about any of this sort of stuff. Looks like your so-called sister, your sister's coming. Ooh, maybe I can make her famous too. Yeah, I can earn myself 2 times the money. Yes. This was such a great idea of mine to make you do the DNA test. You're a great idea. It was Cindy. However, Watson was quickly interrupted as a knock on the door came on by. Alright. Hello, said Faith. Oh, hi. You must be my sister? My twin sister? Yeah, I'm so shocked about this whole thing. Wait, I kind of remember you, said Cindy as she quickly turned her head to John. You're that fan in which I signed an autograph to when I was doing the DNA test with. DNA test. An advertisement, of course, said Cindy. Yeah, I'm a big fan of your music, but don't worry, I'm not that big of a fan in which I really want to date you and only don't like any other music. I like other music, and I'm a respectful fan. I'm a big fan, but I'm not a crazy cool fan that wants to marry you. Trust me. Okay? Don't think of that, said John. Thank you. I always like to meet fans. And what about you? Faith. Faith, it's nice to meet you. Yeah. Question. How am I the eldest? Yeah, I asked that to Turchville. Turchville as well. I don't see how I'm royalty as well. See how you're the eldest either. Why, it's quite simple, said Turchville as he started to drive the car down the road. It's simple. You see, studies have shown that the eldest twin tends to inherit the more dominant fairy type. And in your case, with dark and light parents, the more dominant fairy type is dark. Even though light and dark are both dominant fairy types, dark is more dominant than the light fairy type. Since you, Faith, are a dark fairy, I'm gonna assume you're a dark fairy. Are you a dark fairy? Yes, I'm a dark fairy, said Faith. Yes. And since you are a dark fairy, this proves that you are indeed the eldest. So the only reason why Faith is the eldest is because she's a dark fairy? Well, that was the only way we could figure out who's the eldest. You two were both stepped away before it could happen. Luckily, we managed to have a witness to tell. Luckily, we had one witness who managed to see all of it before you two were both teleported away. Wait, how are you gonna tell which type of fairy you guys type who came out first? So we can only tell thanks to your fairy type genetics. Speaking of fairy types, Faye, where did you get teleported to? I got teleported to the Love Kingdom. Where did you get teleported to? Do you know? Oh, I was teleported to, actually, I don't know. I never got to find out where I was teleported to. I'm gonna guess water? Because that's where I remember growing up when I was younger. Then again, I don't quite remember much where I was teleported to. Well, this is kind of awkward, Sir John. Yeah, sure is. Why? Hey, listen, Faith. Listen, my name is Steven. I'm Cindy's, manager. Tell me, do you have any talent? Are you a fan of music? Are you a fan of Cindy? Said Steven. I'm not a good dancer. Okay, let's check that off and not can do that. Can you do commercials? No, I can't do commercials. And please, why are you asking me all these sort of questions? Listen, I don't want to become famous. Okay, I'm going to be famous enough and do all these crazy responsibilities enough that when I become apparently queen. Wait, why am I becoming queen? Wouldn't it make sense for Cindy to become more queen? I bet she experienced more queeniness than I ever did. Did it, Faith? Well, you see, Your Highness, it is rule. It's the rule that the eldest is the heir to the throne. Unless you were to die and not have any children of your own, then Cindy will be the one to inherit the throne. All right. Inherit the throne, said Stephen under his breath. What did you say, Stephen? Said Cindy. Oh, nothing, my dear. I just cannot wait to see that beautiful castle. Oh, I hear it's simply gorgeous. Yes, the castle is indeed one of the most beautiful castles out there in my personal opinion. Even though it is the smallest castle out there, it is simply quite beautiful. Is it true that the castle also has the third biggest garden ever? Ah, yes. Even though the castle is quite small, it makes up in the size of the garden. And you guys will also get to meet the other royals as well. Speaking of which, once we make it to the castle, Queen Oceana, which you guys probably already know is the queen of the Ocean Kingdom, Ocean Fairies, is gonna be there to greet you. The other fairies will meet you soon. Will meet with you guys later. Oh my goodness, a Queen Oceana? Oh, I always love water fairies. The water element just seems so beautiful and graceful. I swear, if I had to pick another element, I think I'll pick water or nature. Honestly, I don't know. Says Cindy. Well, I guess while we keep waiting to get there to the palace, I guess I can speak about what fairy type I want to be, said John. I'm a fire fairy, even though I look like a kind of looked like a dark fairy, which thanks to my mom, which I'm not. She's a fire fairy, but she, never mind it. I don't know. If I had to pick a different type of fairy other than fire, I think I'll pick, as he quickly thinks, maybe, I always wanted to be a dark fairy when I was younger, said John. Okay. What about you, Faith? What fairy do you want to be? Said Cindy. I don't know. I guess light? 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 Said John. When did you want to be light? I thought I mean, no offense, Faith, but you don't seem like the type of person who wants to be a light fairy. No offense, Cindy. None taken, said Cindy. I don't know, there's just something about light fairies. Well, yeah. The car ride remained kind of awkward the rest of the trip. Both Faith and Cindy knew that they had to try this whole royalty thing. Both had their own goals in life. However, Cindy at the moment couldn't help but think of one thing only, and that was to befriend her sister and to set free from that terrible contract.